to get to dig into Season 8 with all of you and with some of the team behind the show. Please join me in welcoming the voice of summer, Spencer Grammer. We have the voice of Morty, Harry Belden. The voice of Jerry, Chris Parnell. The voice of Ben, Sarah Chalke. Say hello to the voice of Rick, Ian Cardoni. We've got executive producer and showrunner Scott Harder with us today. And executive producer Dan Harmon. Yet another congratulations to you all on a wonderful season. Before we start to dig into Season 8 specifics, I did want to talk about the general convention vibe. And Dan and Scott, I'll throw this first question your way. We were last all together in New York at New York Comic-Con, but this marks the very first time that all of you are together on a San Diego Comic-Con stage. So what does that mean to the two of you, especially with all you've accomplished in the last 2 seasons?
It means my brain is going because I didn't know that. We've all been together for the first time here? Good? Great, fantastic.
It's a big victory. It's so cool. I mean, I'm so pumped to be here.
It's an important milestone, one that's well deserved. I'll turn that towards the cast now because I love all of your work on screen, but one of my favorite things about getting to know all of you is watching how important interacting with your fan base is. And I've seen you go around from convention to convention and strike some really special connections with the people who love your work so much. So can you each maybe recall one of the very first fan interactions you had at a convention that made you think, like, this connection is really important to me and conventions have to be a big part of my life?
Sure. I mean, this is just amazing. I don't know that it's one moment for me, but everywhere we go around the world, and especially here in San Diego, fans are coming up to us and telling us how much the show means to them. And, you know, saying that this has gotten them through some really tough times. It's their comfort show if they're going through treatments, or it's the only show that their family can all bond over. And so those, yeah, right. But you know, whatever works. But that just shows that, you know, it shows how a real impact continues to have an impact, and hearing that resonate wherever we've gone when we're talking to fans, it's amazing. And so that keeps me going, and hopefully we'll keep the show going for 100 years forever.
It's not a joke, by the way. I'm shocked at the number of people that come up to us at conventions and say, this is the one show that my family and I all watch together. And you think, like, but you laugh, but no, but it really isn't. And it just shows that, you know, what this show can do is bring families together, and as dysfunctional as they may be. So I just think that's really wonderful, and that's the thing that I take to heart.
It is cool, but the thing is, a lot of times those families have kids that are like 3 and 4 and 5. You're like, you made the best choices for your kids.
Try not to judge.
Anyone else want to jump in?
Was when we got to watch an episode in Petco Park with thousands of you, and it was such a neat thing to get to see everyone's reaction. It's one of the coolest things about being at San Diego Comic-Con is to understand and experience the show through all of your eyes.
That was like the coolest moment. We'd come to Comic-Con a couple of times, and we were at Petco Park, and there was just like a line of people waiting to get in, like lots of people. I was like, I think it got big, you guys, because there's this long break. So it's incredible that we get to come and celebrate with you, meet you, and in any capacity, whether it's here at Comic-Con on this panel or we're at Comic-Cons across the country meeting people. We do it to entertain you, so it's always a privilege.
Filling rooms like this was really something special and well worth celebrating. And digging into Season 8 specifics now, Dan and Scott, I want to start with the two of you because this season gives us a good deal of canon callbacks. And I got two questions about the process of incorporating them in a new season. what is that process? Do you both have a list of storylines and characters and then some that you are considering, or is it something that comes up more organically as you're developing a season?
I've always been, I always have the position of being anti-canon, anti-serialization, not because those are bad things, but because, as I've always said, they happen so automatically. That I think putting all of your energy into trying to not, that they happen as a result of the fans loving the show, really. It's almost like the mythologization kind of writes itself. And it's unignorable, and so I find that planning for it, especially in a new crowdsourced, cross-platform world, you can't surprise the audience with wait till you get to this thing that we're building and keeping a secret from you. So, anyways, I'm always the guy going like, well, why not I do any canon? But then we've got Scott and we've got all these young writers who I know more than me. I'll ask them, like, is the original Rick evil Morty's father? I know how disappointing it is to know that it's like if George R.R. Martin was like, what's a White Walker? Not making the comparison in terms of talent or value to society, just like disappointment. I was disappointed with it. But it's because I gotta be disgruntled and jaded and be like, no, let's make the show just modular and make it one-offs because I want it to last 1,000 episodes. But
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of the show first, so I just know what I want in the show, and for me, I want silly ones and brain breakers, but I also want canon. So a perfect season for me is the one that's got a little bit of all that. So I'm always driving that train, giving like, can we squeeze in maybe something big? Like, we're always kind of going for that. I'm also completely open to taking bribes from guest characters. If they want to throw me a little scratch for Morty Jr., it's always open season over here.
Coming from the perspective of a fan of your own show, is there any particular season 8 callback that really excited you, or just like scratched an itch if you really wanted to see that particular element return?
I thought it was really exciting to get into Child Beth. I thought that was she ends up becoming a really cool vein through the whole season, but she's such a cool, complicated character, and her psychosis, it was fun delving back into her.
Let's dig into some specific characters. I'm going to stick with the two of you a little longer to start to tee up what we see from Rick this season, because it does feel like he's got more access to his emotions than ever before. So what was it like playing with those added emotions, and how did it maybe change how you developed his season 8 storyline?
I mean, I can speak to the fact.
If you like cartoons, movies, books, music, I demand you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, be prepared. Subscribe or be prepared for doom. Do not resist. Do not resist. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe.